TwoTrees, a company that makes CNCs, reached out to me about a month ago, and they asked if I would want to do a video review for them in exchange for one of their products, their TTC6050 CNC. And I do like free tools, and this is a pretty cool one, so I said yes. I know that sponsored videos like this can be boring sometimes. I am going to try my absolute best to not make this boring, so bear with me. I have a pretty cool project in this video. I'm going to show you how I make these cool looking folded corner shelves using the CNC they sent me. But this is actually a super simple project. Really, all you need to understand to make this project is how to kerf bend at an angle. And what I mean by that is this is a trick that I've done in a lot of my previous videos, where I basically make a bunch of cuts in a piece of wood, but I make those cuts at an angle so that when I fold the wood along those cuts, it's gonna fold over at 2 times whatever the angle was. Here's an example. I made a bunch of cuts in this workpiece at 30 degrees, and then when I folded it over, the angle that it made was 60 degrees. This time though, instead of using any of my saws, I'm gonna use the new CNC they sent me, along with this 15-degree engraving bit. And this is gonna make for a much stronger and much nicer looking piece. Anyways, I need to prepare some material to be cut on the CNC, so I'm gonna cut out a few pieces of walnut and glue them right back together in this sort of staggered shape. I could have cut these shelves from just one wider plank instead, but I would have ended up having to still remove a lot of that material anyways, so gluing up the boards in this staggered shape ended up just being a lot less wasteful. I gotta wait like 30 minutes for that glue to dry, so while we're waiting, let's go draw something up in ESEL for the CNC to use. Now, if there's one takeaway that I can give to people from this video, it is that using a CNC, any CNC, is not that hard. I went a very long time before buying my first CNC because I am not a very tech-savvy person, and I was afraid I was gonna waste all that money on a CNC and then just never end up using it because I couldn't figure it out. But I swear to you, the hardest part of basically any CNC is just putting it together. I'm not gonna lie to you, that part is a nightmare, but once it's actually set up, the programming is super easy, especially when you're using something like ESEL. This is not an ad for ESEL, but I do love it, and this TTC6050 is specifically made to work with ESEL, which is really nice. And what I like about ESEL is it is one of the very, very rare like maker type programs that you can open up for the first time and right out of the gate just understand how it works. It is incredibly dumbed down. And I mean that as the biggest compliment that I can give, because I hate opening or trying to learn some new program because there's always like 1,000 different buttons to the point where you can't even figure out how to do the simplest task because there's just so much going on when you open the app. ESEL, on the other hand, only has like 9 visible tools, and honestly, for like 99% of projects, that's really all you need is those tools that they give you. If down the line you ever get super into CNC work and you want to get to those other 1% of projects, you can always step up to a more complicated program later, but starting out, this app is great. I really, really wish that they had more like beginner-friendly maker apps like this. I am back in the workshop and I'm unclamping that workpiece that I glued up about 30 minutes ago, and I'm gonna run that through my planer so that it's flat and it'll lay flat on my CNC bed. And now for the good part, I can show you guys finally the CNC I was sent. Again, this is the TTC6050. I'll have links in the description below. This is not my first CNC. I have another one that I still use, but I wanted this one in particular for a few different reasons. First off, this TTC6050 has a much larger carving area than my other CNC. This has a carving area of about 23 by 20 inches. Secondly, this TwoTrees CNC has this sort of rail system for clamping down workpieces that my old CNC did not have, and this has saved me a ton of time, not having to use double-sided tape or nails to hold down my workpiece. And lastly, the TTC6050 has this touchscreen display and it runs off of an SD card. And that might not sound like it's that important, but my other CNC had no display and it had to be hooked up to a computer to do anything, which means that I had to drag my desktop computer out to my shop where it is slowly getting destroyed by sawdust. So the TTC6050 is sort of like its own self-contained thing. You don't have to have it hooked up to the computer. You can run everything off the display. Once I actually got the CNC, I found a lot of other little features that were also very nice, like it has a light to illuminate the router bit so that you can better see where your bit is when centering it to the workpiece. There also seems to be a lot of metal parts on this CNC, not too much plastic, which does give me a lot of faith that the machine should last a while. And another little nice surprise is that this CNC comes with this adapter, so you don't need to use the 1/8" router that it comes with. You can just swap it out for whatever trim router you have. Or I guess I can't say for sure any trim router, but the adapter seems pretty universal. It fit both my DeWalt router and this Bauer one, so that's super nice. Really, my only complaint so far with the CNC is that the touchscreen display could be a little bit more sensitive. Sometimes it doesn't register when I click, which can be annoying sometimes when trying to jog the machine around. So my final consensus for this machine is that it is a great CNC. I absolutely love this CNC. It's a huge upgrade, and I feel very comfortable recommending it to others. So if you want to learn more about TwoTrees and their products and make me look good so that I can get more sponsorships and brand deals in the future, you can check out the links in the description. I'll link to TwoTrees down below. Anyways, back to the project. So I'll unclamp the workpiece from the CNC, and then I'll trim away all the waste at the bandsaw so that I can actually fold this piece. Now before I do fold it, I'm going to spray down the veneer side of the workpiece with a little bit of water, and all this does is hopefully loosen the wood up a little bit so that it's easier to bend and it doesn't just crack on me when I'm trying to fold this. And then once that side is good and saturated, I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm going to squeeze a line of glue into each of the cuts. Now I can finally fold up this shelf, and when I'm doing this, I'm going pretty slow and trying to be not too aggressive with it because I don't want to crack that thin veneer. Luckily, it all went well. The veneer did not crack, and all the joints came together really tight and clean. I had no real visible gaps, so that was great. And then I'll just clamp the shelf down to my table in that folded position until the glue dries. Once the glue is set, I got to do a little bit more shaping with the bandsaw and some sanding, just to remove those corners of the shelf so that it has more of a natural looking shape. I also marked and cut the ends of the shelves to be round, just because I thought that'd look good. Now, the problem with kerf bending is it doesn't give the smoothest looking bend. There's a lot of corners to it because you're basically just mitering a bunch of pieces together. So I try to sand away any visible corners and smooth everything out best I could during the final sanding. And that looks pretty good. All I got to do now is just cut a couple of keyhole slots in the back side of these shelves so that I can actually attach them to the wall. I'm using my router to cut these keyhole slots, and I have a block glued to my router and a sort of jig set up so that I can cut these keyhole slots at the same distance consistently and in the right spots. I finished these shelves with a few coats of satin lacquer, and now I'm inside and it's time for the hard part, which is trying to hang these to the wall because I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never had to do that before. But I asked my dad because, dads just know stuff like that, and he suggested these weird drywall screws, and they worked really well. I doubt that I'll really have anything too heavy on these small shelves, but they seem to be holding very well. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. I filled the shelves with a few random knickknacks just to get a thumbnail picture, and I think they look great. I love these shelves, but let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want to help me out, you can check out those links in the description. Thanks for watching.